Hello, hello. Let me know if you can hear me. It's Friday. Yeah. I need a sound check up in this chat. Let me know what's going on. Or do I need to listen to my own audio? Oh, all right, Faye. Came in. Yes. Came right in. All right. In the clutch. Thank you so much. All right. Now, listen. We made it. It's Friday. Feeling good. Hopefully you are too. You know what I'm saying? We got to get the vibe up and let the algorithm roll around a little bit. I don't know where Wayne is, but you know what I'm saying? God bless him. But yeah, we're going to play a little bit of music. You know how we do, right? Let me give you a hello. Me and my crown and my glory. My goddess crown right here. But yeah, so we are going to let the algorithm do its thing. We're going to get our vibes up. Okay, it's Friday. And we're going to talk about this whole case. May Celeste rest in peace. And there's other things going on as well. I just didn't want to muddy the I guess, thumbnail with other things because it's such a sensitive topic. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, we got other things on the docket. We're going to get into it. Don't go nowhere. Thank you. Raise the vibe. I think I'm going to start off with a different song rather than Ring My Bell, but I will be playing Ring My Bell because, you know, we ring bells over here. Yes, we do. Yeah. So let's do it. This is, I'm into this. I did a little short on this. If you haven't seen my shorts where I'm bopping, you know what I'm saying? Here's the song.
Okay. Watch me.
Shake.
Watch me.
Drop.
Watch me.
Shake.
Watch me.
Drop.
Go crazy.
Shake.
Go crazy.
Drop.
Go crazy.
Shake.
Go crazy.
Drop.
Go crazy. Left cheek, right cheek. Bop, bop, bop. Right cheek, left cheek. Bop, bop, bop. Left cheek, right cheek. Bop, bop, bop. Right cheek, left cheek. Bop, bop, bop. Shake that little shit, little bitch. Wop, wop, wop. Shake that little shit like this. Drop that little shit real quick. Let me see you hit that shit. Aye, to the left she get it. To the right she get it. To the left she get it. Left, right, left, go crazy. Left cheek, right cheek. Bop, bop, bop. Right cheek, left cheek. Bop, bop, bop. Left cheek, right cheek. Bop, bop, bop. Right cheek, left cheek. Bop, bop, bop. Left cheek, right cheek. Bop, bop, bop. Right cheek, left cheek. Bop, bop, bop. Left cheek, right cheek. Bop, bop, bop. Right cheek, left cheek. Bop, bop, bop.
Bop, bleed some. Top. Yeah, I need some. 4 a.m. up looking for a threesome. Do it on the dick. Got a nigga finna pre-cum. Right cheek, left cheek. Let me see some. Run up on me the wrong way. I'm finna leave some. Make a right turn down the wrong street to lead them. Bleed them. Jeezy Obama, Jeezy Alejandro. 3-0, babe, bringing hoes to the condo. No Soul City better come with a poncho. No Smoke City better come with a fronto. Shake that little shit, little bitch. Why? Try to get spitting on the ice. Shake that little shit, little bitch. Why? Try to get spitting on the ice.
We in a function. Got this bitch jump. Get on your feet and fuck it up. Go crazy. We
Cardi him at the function, had to rough him up. Heard Obama here, his bitch is popping up. Sending bitches home if they ain't loving it. Fucking with a broke nigga, never bite you nigga. Like I dance for Tommy, bitch, I'm getting off. Fucking nigga, bitch, get my point across. I don't wanna fuck, I want that motor mouth. She don't really fuck.
That got real disrespectful. Yeah.
night is young and full of possibilities. Well, come on and let yourself be free. My love for you, so long I've been saving. Tonight was made for me and you. You can ring my bell, ring my bell, You can ring my bell, ring my bell, You can ring my
All right, all right, all right. Calm it down. Calm it down. Yeah. I'm so happy to be here, y'all. The music distracts me. I used to be able to play music in the background. Yeah, so we're here live, real, in person, and real time. Peace, world peace. Welcome or welcome back to Goddess Dawn Speaks, aka the $1 trillion Goddess Baby. Yeah, we here. You know what I'm saying? Let me I'll get back on camera. I'm trying to broaden my horizons. But yeah, I want to say what's up to everybody, especially if you're here in the chat. I see you. I want to acknowledge you warriors who came here personally. Faye, I see you. Hey, Corp girl. Michelle, hug the babies as always. Cha-cha. What's going on, it's my niece Cha-cha, y'all. What's going on, Midson? Okay, I get it. Thank you for coming and saying hello. I appreciate you. Yeah. Chrissy Power, what's going on, baby? Yeah. All my nieces are here. Where the boys at? I don't see none of the guys. It don't matter. Okay. It's all about this divine energy. Okay. We are moving into a matriarchic dominion here. Okay. Yeah. I love them too, Faye. Friday. I got to move my phone closer. That's where I do my sound effects. All right. I'm so not organized, but you know, nothing new. If I were to get organized, I would never hit the live button. Shout. Yeah, but we here. I got to switch my notes out. These are the notes, my working notes of my novel. Okay. These are just the notes for each chapter. I like to have chapter notes so I can have a reference of each of my chapters as I go. But I need my live notes today, child. So it's Friday and it is April 24th, all damn ready. How is it already April 24th? Okay. Yeah, but we made it. So there's some things going on, child. Like, okay, of course, we're talking about, I have Celeste up here because it's R.I.P. Celeste all day. She deserves justice. It looks like they've got their guy. Okay. It looks like they got, I can't even say man, but it looks like they got their man. Yeah. So there's been information coming out, of course, since the arrest. I believe I was last here during the arrest last Friday. And since then, he has appeared in court. He has had his charges broken down, as well as, you know, the DA or the prosecutor looks like she is very confident in what they have. So much evidence, it sounds like, so many terabytes of data, pictures, information, and whatnot. So what I want to do to keep things just all organized and in perspective with regard to this, I'm going to let old girl from TikTok, she has some short video clips of like all the little updates, which does it better than I could. So let's do that first. I'm also looking into these scientists. I think there's 12 to date who are either unalived or held dead or missing because they have somehow tapped into some kind of secret. You know, this is the year of exposing all the cover-ups. Okay, that's what I've determined. And I feel like, you know, these demons are being very aggressive with trying to keep their stuff secret, but things are being exposed. All right. So let's see. I think we'll start with Khadijah right here.
David's younger brother Caleb seems to be calling him out about Celeste Rivas Hernandez on.
No, not the brother story.
We're now learning a little bit more of what type of evidence the prosecutors are trying to use against David. This is why it's so very important to check multiple news sites, especially in a case like this, because everybody's reporting different information, and I've only seen this reported a couple of places. Megan Kunup, a very known court reporter, was in court today when David had his hearing, and she did multiple different updates about what was happening inside the courtroom. She was reporting all of the different things that the prosecutors were saying that they had in this hearing, like the inappropriate videos on David's phone, a whole bunch more of digital evidence, but this part right here is what I was interested in. She said, Beth Silverman said the discovery includes body cam video, DNA trace evidence, which I think is the biggest one, and photographs from serving search warrants. DNA trace evidence is a small amount of DNA that gets left when somebody touches something. Automatically made me think of what the medical examiner was swabbing when he recovered Celeste. The medical examiner confirmed that Celeste's head and torso was in a black body bag, and then we know she was dismembered, so those limbs were in a black trash bag underneath that body bag. According to the medical examiner's report, that body bag had multiple handles on it. He took swabs of every single handle for the body bag and also the zipper. I am very curious if this is where this touch DNA might come into play. Now, with the medical examiner's report, one thing I also want to clarify that we talked about yesterday is how Celeste's left pinky ring finger and her ring finger were removed. And on one of those fingers that was missing, Celeste had the tattoo of David. Medical examiner put a very lengthy report out called an investigation report, and he said that her fingers were actually mutilated and they were never recovered when they found Celeste. And this part to me feels huge, because why would the fingers just be gone? Literally every other piece of her that was removed from her body was there, except her fingers. But even could be a possibility that maybe touch DNA was on Celeste's body or even her clothes. I thought this was a very important thing to talk about, and I heard really nobody else talk about it. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
In the comments. So listen, this is the most gruesome, disturbing, vile. I can go on. This is not a case I am probably going to cover in depth like I did Diddy. That was hard too, but this, I can't do it. Like, I even thought about, should I go down to the courthouse? I can't. It's just, you know, I'm too sensitive to this type of thing. Hopefully, you know, y'all can listen, because that's why I'm here, to share information. But, you know, I might do this time, and then after that, it might just be the big headline updates, and that's it, because this is too much. But for this particular stream, we're going to get into it because we're here. Yeah, we're here. So she went into, you know, some of the evidence that was described, some of the DNA evidence. So DNA evidence being key. People are questioning. I've seen people comment, oh, he's a scapegoat. He's not, you know, he's not guilty. You know, believe you me, they have a lot of evidence on this guy. I heard that Cha-Cha saying they're not going to stream the next court hearing. I heard that in the last court hearing, somebody representing the broadcasting, you know, the media companies, was fighting the judge, trying to get the cameras in the courtroom And the judge says there's enough reporters in here. There are going to be updates because they're present in the courtroom. No more than that is needed, right? I don't know if I agree, but because I wanted to watch. But then again, like I said, it's too much. So maybe it's best that it's not streamed live. I feel like, I don't even know if they'll allow cameras in the courtroom where you can see footage later. Maybe just not live stream. I'm thinking we may, there may be court cameras where we can see live footage, because his expressions and the things that happen in the courtroom with regard to a defendant, such as something like this, we want to see what he's looking like. We want to see how he's reacting and if he's saying anything, hopefully, he doesn't have any access to any type of weaponry. He doesn't do anything crazy, because he seems like the type that might flip in a switch and start choking his lawyer or something crazy. I don't know if they're going to have him in there handcuffed and ankle chained or what. I don't trust him. There's more to it, though. Let's see what else she's talking about here. She did talk about how his brother spoke out, but let's see.
David's phone was wiretapped in the investigation into what happened to Celeste Riva Hernandez. David had court today, and it was supposed to be a preliminary hearing, but that didn't end up happening after the judge sided with the prosecutors that they needed to reschedule it till May 1st. One reason the prosecutors were arguing that this date needs to be rescheduled is because they claim that they found tons and tons of child inappropriate videos on David's phone. We're unclear right now who these children are, but they said that they need to handle this carefully to figure out how they are going to get this over to David's team, because it involves children. Prosecutors also said that they are eventually going to have information from a wiretap that they got last year on David's phone. They confirmed not long after Celeste was found in the front of David's Tesla and they executed the search warrants in his LA mansion. They took phones, they took tablets, they took any electronic and took that data off of it. And they also got a separate search warrant for David's devices on the day that he was arrested. They have a ton of digital evidence that is going to take a minute to get David's team all of this information just from the digital evidence. But prosecutors did say by next week, they should have a good amount of evidence turned over to David's team. And then they are going to have a conference on April 29th, right before the preliminary hearing. They also confirmed that there was 3 separate grand juries, which would point to investigative grand juries that were held on November, December, and February. Now, because this ended up not being the preliminary hearing, this is all the information we got. And the next time that we should start hearing evidence is on May 1st, when this preliminary hearing is actually held. But y'all, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. David's phone was wiretapped.
All right. So that's interesting too, that his phone had been wiretapped. Did they say a year? Did she say a year prior? Let me see.
In the investigation into what happened to Celeste Riva Hernandez. David had court today, and it was supposed to be a preliminary hearing, but that didn't end up happening after the judge sided with the prosecutors that they needed to reschedule it till May 1st. One reason the prosecutors were arguing that this date needs to be rescheduled is because they claim that they found tons and tons of child inappropriate videos on David's phone. We're unclear right now who these children are, but they said that they need to handle this carefully to figure out how they are going to get this over to David's team, because it involves children. Prosecutors also said that they are eventually going to have information from a wiretap that they got last year on David's phone. They confirmed not long
last year. Okay. And that actually is the other reason I understand they're not going to stream or air the court proceedings, is because of the child inappropriate videos and things they have in that phone. It's a lot of the evidence, and they can't just air that. It's actually illegal. So that's huge. The fact that they had 3 separate grand juries, November, December, and February, tells also a lot. That's a lot of grand juries. Usually after a first grand jury, which I think the maximum that you can hold a grand jury is 30 days, they would have had an indictment, you would think. But it took, I guess, so much because they were already investigating him, and they have now added special circumstances, or I think that's special charges or whatever to his charges because of the age that she was. Sounds like they were like, they say she was 11 years old when he first connected with her, and that she was she had just turned 14 when she was unalive. I believe that's what it went. 14. Yeah. Oh, Lord, let me see what y'all are saying. Cha-cha. I understand that involving abuse. Yes, involving abuse of a minor. Equally interested in how the DA is feeling about the chief of police right now. The DA wasn't ready to charge. I've heard that too, but then I've heard things saying that's not actually true. Like, I don't know if that's the DA's office saying that's not true and the LAPD, because they don't want to, it to be known that there was infighting. But I had heard there was infighting. That actually came from Mark Garagos, I believe, who I know is a liar, but he does also know people in high up places in the structure. So he's been doing this stuff for a long time. Did you see that live stream of David and Celeste where she basically stated that he was sleeping with a child and he abruptly wrapped the live? Is that where he said we need to delete this live? I think we need to delete this. I think I did. I think I actually played some of that in the last live. We covered some of this. I played somebody else's video and they played a bunch of compilations. I think it was in there. But yeah, he's definitely guilty of the inappropriateness with minor business. So if nothing else, if they couldn't get him on the actual unaliving, then maybe just on the body parts, there's a charge for that. You can't just be lugging around somebody's body parts, especially somebody who was murdered. Like, hello, can't do that. And why, that just opens up so many other questions. Like, why was it in his car? If he's trying to get away with something, the car is registered in his name. It doesn't make sense. Did somebody just forget? Like, did somebody miss the memo that they were supposed to do something? You said yes, the one where he said to delete it. Yeah, I saw that. I think they have so much on him, things of that nature. And that's why he's where he's at. Now, I don't know why the DA supposedly wanted to hold off on charging. A lot of the fighting also was said to have been happening between the medical examiner as well. Now, the medical examiner has released the actual findings. I think that's also one of her other videos, which I haven't played, but let's see.
We now know that David is being charged for taking the life of Celeste Rivas Hernandez because there was already an ongoing investigation into him having a relationship with her. And they're alleging that David did this to Celeste so he wouldn't lose his music career. And I went back through everything that I have saved up since the very beginning of Celeste Rivas Hernandez being found in the front of David's Tesla. And now it makes sense. These photos were uploaded of David by somebody that was friends with Celeste and knew her, of David literally around the corner from Celeste's home in Lake Elsinore. And in my opinion, I think these photos and this person that is actually in this photo is going to play a huge part in the evidence against David. Multiple media sites, including CNN, were able to find the geolocation of this photo that was uploaded with David meeting with these children, and it was literally 0.3 miles away from Celeste's home. CNN also reported in their huge timeline reporting that they were able to find out that this photo of David was taken between January and March of 2024. And yes, during this time, Celeste would have only been 13 years old. Now, a child is who actually took to social media on TikTok to post these photos of David and what he believed happened because he knew the kid in this photo.
Popular artist got caught giving thousands of dollars to kids. Now, why did he do this? To hide his little secret of him dating a minor.
And also, word is she wasn't the only minor. It sounds like they may have multiple minors involved in this situation. Big DH Buster. Wait, now David is gonna have a hard time if they let him out into public. I don't think he's gonna be in the public population. What is it called? he's going to be in Gen Pop, general population. I doubt that. I know they have him in some type of isolation currently. I doubt that's going to change. Maybe when he gets convicted, they'll throw his ass in Gen Pop and let them have their way with him. I don't know, but I know they're going to want him to see this trial through. So, Mannix, welcome. Serial Pred is what this buster is. Okay, gotcha. Only a matter of time before other victims come forward. Yeah, I think there were other victims already being discussed. I remember hearing that. So,
who knows if he's still dating this minor? And people coming, proof. Why the fuck else would he randomly go unnoticed? No one knows about this. To meet kids, bring them canes, give them thousands of dollars. Why else would he do that? Why else would any celebrity do that? You know exactly why. And I'm not just guessing here. This is a picture from someone who knew the girl, and they told me this story.
On top of this, Celeste's former teacher was recorded by a student, and it was put on TikTok of him basically saying the same exact thing that this kid was saying on TikTok.
That's her in my classroom in front of this poster right here. Okay, hold up. I got another one because I got a picture on TMZ of this other kid exchanging stuff with the rapper who we alleged did this stuff. Hold on a second, because he's also in my classroom.
How long ago was this?
We all just found out yesterday who it was, but she's been missing since I taught her. So when I taught her, she met this dude on social media. He was a rapper in LA. He came and got her. She ran away from home. She was gone for like a month. The cops found her in Hollywood, brought her back to our school. She came back to our school, kind of told people this story. She disappeared again in May of that year, May of 2024. That's when her friends told me what happened, that it was this rapper, that they were like blackmailing him, all of this stuff. And then I found out yesterday that she's now dead in that rapper's car.
Not only did that,
I hate when they say rapper. He's a singer, right? But that also makes sense. The kids trying to extort this guy because they know his secret. Somebody in the comments is saying they believe she was pregnant. Could have been the case. Could have been why she was mutilated and put into pieces, because they wanted to take that out as well. I mean, like I said, this is gruesome stuff.
teachers say that cops already had caught Celeste with David and brought her back. So this explains why there was an investigation into David. Also claims that these kids were blackmailing David. And I am almost positive, because of what this teacher was saying, he is probably also going to be a witness too. And
that's my thing too. Why is the teacher talking to his students about this like this? I mean, did he talk to the police already, his school principal or whatever? Or is this a part of his lecture for the day? I'm so confused. You said you used to listen to this fool before this song playing all over TikTok back then. You feel betrayed. Oh, you were a fan of his music. Yeah, well, I was trying to figure out how is he getting all this funding? I guess TikTok plays a lot of money when your music hits, because he was 17 years old, I think, when he first started his music journey, from what I understand. And he's, so this has been a couple years ago, but also going back into Celeste being younger. She was like 11. So,
timeline of all of this happening completely makes sense when you pair it with other things that we have seen released by people that know Celeste or know David. Like this DM to David's friend Asia with the missing poster of Celeste, and Asia saying, "Bro, this is my friend's girlfriend." And they said, "Is there a way you can confirm she's 13? And this was February 16th, 2024, around the same time frame of the photo, same time frame that this email was sent to David's management's email, David@Mogul Vision, on February 19th of 2024. Literally saying there has been talk that the artist David possibly has something to do with the disappearance of 13-year-old Celeste Riva. with the missing poster. Again, same time frame that we are seeing this comment on one of David's TikTok videos, and this was February 26th of 2024, waiting for LAPD to get your message.
And that's the thing. These people and his comments and his Discord and have known, and that kid we just saw talking in the camera about him has been talking about him for years now. It's been a couple years now. This is in 2024, waiting for LAP to get your ass for messing with a 13-year-old. Imagine this person, Robin River, whoever that is, posting this and then finding out later that she's no longer with us. Pretty sure she's pretty upset, knowing that she probably was trying to ring the alarm on the situation.
With a 13-year-old girl. In 2024 is when we also see on the Discord that someone said, drop the one with the missing girl, Celeste Riva Hernandez. Some people are really confused on why David is being charged with lewd acts towards Celeste only from the dates of September 7th, 2023 to September 7th of 2024. And I'm going to explain this to you. So the charges David has is for someone that is under the age of 14. Those date ranges is from when Celeste is 13 years old till the day she turns 14. Now, why that's a big deal? Because under the age of 14 is a much harsher sentence if you are found guilty of that crime. So yes, basically they stuck with a harsher time frame because they want to try to nail his ass out of the.
And I think that's a lot of why it took so long for them to charge, because they wanted to make sure, you know, you get one shot, right? So they wanted to make sure when they did charge that they charged properly and strongly enough to get him nailed down. Okay.
The 40 terabytes of evidence that they are claiming they have. I think we are about to see a lot of this information that was already put out to the public. And I'm talking about Discord, all of the messages, also talking about these that were being linked, everything. But during this preliminary hearing that is coming up in a couple days, I'm sure this is when we are going to start hearing a lot more of exactly what type of evidence they have. But now going back, it completely makes sense on why they were saying there was already an investigation and they are trying to say that he wanted to take her out because of this investigation. But y'all, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Child. So now his brother has come out, apparently, or I don't know if he's come out. He posted something on his story, something he was deleting and reposting, wanting to say and not wanting to say. But being that the parents are still saying they support their son, and they had refused previously also to be to testify at the grand jury as well, which they ended up not doing. But this is what she said happened with the brother.
David's younger brother, Caleb, seems to be calling him out about Celeste Riva Hernandez on his social media page. After the information came out that David had illegal CP content on his phone, his brother was taken to his Instagram and he kept uploading a very interesting story, taking it down, putting it back up, taking it down, and putting it back up again. He took to his Instagram and said, all PDF files should period. We also know that Caleb, his younger brother that was posting this, was also subpoenaed to the grand jury with his mother and father, and they ended up fighting the subpoenas and they never ended up going to the grand jury before David was arrested. And to now hear Caleb speaking out, this is huge because if you remember, back at the Fonda Theater in 2024, somebody caught Celeste on video going backstage with Caleb. But during this time, Caleb would have still been underage. Even though David's younger brother was underage at the time of this video, he is now 18 years old, and this is the first time we have actually heard him speak out about David. It's definitely a surprising statement after we see that his parents have recently said that they support David 100%. Honestly, if this is how Caleb feels, I am here for it, and I'm actually proud of him for making a public statement like this. Because you can still love somebody and not at all support or agree with their horrible decisions. Last month, he also unfollowed David from his Instagram, and he knows that there are tons of people literally watching everyone's accounts that are connected to David. But y'all, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
So yeah, everybody is distancing themselves at this point, and it is, you know, it's becoming a race to how far and fast you can get away from David, which can you blame people? This lady is one of them. Let's see.
Hey everyone, my name is Cassidy Clark. I was in the Here With Me music video when I was 18 years old, and I'm going to talk about it. I submitted for the job via casting networks and I got casted. It was a 12-hour shoot, very low pay, non-union job. I met David's whole family. His whole family was there because he was a minor at the time. I was 18, he was 17. And when you're a minor working on set, you have to have your one guardian present, but his whole family was there. I met his younger sister, who is probably now around the same age as Celeste would be. And he has a younger brother as well. During the shoot, I played his girlfriend, and that was that. We followed each other on Instagram just for the sake of, oh, you shot with me for 12 hours. We might as well follow each other on Instagram. We honestly didn't really get along that well. I would say I'm pretty outgoing, and we just really didn't click. If anything, I felt like I was kind of bickering with him, but that's besides the point. The reason why I'm making this, hey everyone, video is because I've gotten quite a few messages of people asking me if I have anything to do with this, if I know what's going on. And I just wanted to put an end to it. I do not associate with David by any means. I'm an actor. I literally have nothing to do with him. I did it for a job. I did it for a check. I didn't know who David was. I don't follow him on Instagram anymore. I'm going to remove him as a follower. And I think that he deserves even more than what's happening to him right now. He's a monster, and I do not associate with him by any means. Video is because I've gone I'm not making this video to make this about me. I'm making this video to put an end to my association with David. Like I said, I've been getting countless amount of messages, comments, stuff like that. I know this video is going to get the same thing, but at least I'm saying I don't associate with David, and all justice to Celeste Riva and her family.
Absolutely. Can you imagine having been casted in one of David's videos back when she said he was 17, she was 18. So that was a few years ago. And when he was 17, who was he to have a video of that magnitude where these people are casting people? Who are these people behind David? They say that his company, his label, ran away from him a few months ago, which they probably already saw the writing on the wall about this arrest and these charges. However, who was it? Interscope, I think it said, but it had to have been somebody funding this guy before they even picked him up. Like, where did he even come from? So anyway, imagine being her, and now here we are some years later. You've moved on. You have nothing to do with this creep, and now people are questioning you. And then she kind of is similar in the features to Celeste. I mean, you know, but obviously much older than her. But imagine being now linked to that situation. You don't want that, especially you're trying to be an actress, an actor in Hollywood, and now this thing is on you. Like, she has to do this. She's trying to save herself, trying to save her career, and maybe her life. Hell, some crazy fan might, you know, who knows? I don't know. But yeah, she felt like she had to say that. A lot of people are speaking out. So much going on, child. I'm trying to decide, do we go on from here? Do I just leave this as this is? I was going to talk about some other things, but there's a couple things I could talk about. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's right. He was homeschooled, wasn't he? Mannix, his followers are just as guilty. There's this clip of him and Celeste with his fans jokingly calling him out for being a PDF, and none cared to actually do something. Right. And that's the one I think we were just talking about, that he was telling them to delete this, wipe it all. Because she said something like delete the comments. And he was like, no, let's delete the whole video. Yeah, no one did a thing, but there are people who were calling him out, like the kid we just saw on the TikTok, as well as There's some other, the teacher, he was saying something. I mean, there's people who have been saying stuff, but it's horrible. I mean, I just hope that she does get the justice she deserves. And oh yeah, this is something else they said they saw. Now, why did they say prosecutors are alleging that David had mass amounts of cheese pizza on his phone? You know exactly what I mean by cheese pizza. They say during his hearing, prosecutors say they went through his phone and found tons of cheese pizza. It's unclear if the alleged pizza features Celeste. What do you think? Well, you guys know that it's like pizza is like code for child inappropriateness online. And, you know, pizza boxes, those are like codes for contraband and people being trafficked or whatnot. It's so disturbing. This is just too much. Let me see. Yeah, they're highlighting here about her missing fingers. These are some of the, oh, they actually posted the autopsy report. I mean, the diagrams. Multiple penetrating injuries, amputated left ring and pinky fingers, severely decomposed body, head partially skeletonized, left eye absent. The ME also said her left ring and pinky fingers were amputated, but the body diagram shows that her right pointer finger with the tattoo was intact. That is also a symbol of that whole world. If you're into those theories, I don't call them conspiracies. I'll get into a couple other things. Let me just make sure. Yeah, here we go. Lastly, before we
have a third minor. It turns out that Celeste wasn't the only victim of David, as confirmed by this private investigator, clearly stating that he has proof of an ongoing illegal relationship with another minor at the exact same time this was ongoing with Celeste. This proof includes a statement from the minor and dozens of photos that include the minor and David. Yes, law enforcement is already aware of the relationship. I'm also aware of a third minor. I thought David having an illegal relationship with Celeste and a second minor was already crazy, but we have a third minor. Private investigator has the same question as me, saying why charges are not being filed for this pattern of abuse against minors is
so third minor. And this is what I was saying earlier. I couldn't remember where I heard it or saw it, but I had this in my saved queue. So apparently there's proof of an ongoing illegal relationship with another minor at the exact same time of his ongoing relationship with Celeste. And this could be why I heard Celeste was threatening to basically expose him for these relationships. And it says this proof includes a statement from the minor and dozens of photos that include minor and David. Yes, law enforcement is aware of the relationship, aware of the third minor. There is a pattern, they say. Why charges aren't being filed for this pattern of abuse against minors is beyond logic. It's as if homicide, it's as if something homicide or nothing. How about justice for all the victims? They're saying we have to keep the pressure on. So whoever wrote this wants to expose the additional victims, because it is true that every victim needs justice, not just Celeste. So if there's more victims, then they all should hopefully also receive justice. Somebody said the girls and their families need to speak up before they let him walk. Somebody else is asking who's the second. And that's also a question I have. I don't know who the second. I mean, I don't remember them identifying a second victim. But maybe they alluded to having more victims in the court. I know that courthouse, that court proceeding that happened had a lot of information in it. I didn't hear the whole thing. I know there's a whole live or a whole video recording of it that I haven't listened to. So if you guys have, let me know. So I do want to talk about your boy Diddy as well, child, because let's get into it. Diddy lost his $100 million defamation lawsuit. Yeah, he did. And it was against NBC Universal in a New York courtroom. And the ruling reads like a complete and total beatdown from start to finish. This is from allhiphop.com. Judge Phaedra F. Perry Bond dismissed every claim Diddy filed against NBC Universal, Peacock TV, and Ample LLC over the documentary Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, which dropped on Peacock January 2nd, 2025. Diddy argued that the documentary caused him substantial reputation and financial harm, and pointed to 3 specific issues with the film. Quote, "It is inconceivable as to how the documentary created additional damage to Diddy's reputation, which was already tarnished by the numerous lawsuits, domestic violence video, press coverage, and criminal indictment prior to the documentary's publication." This is what the judge said, child. Judge Perry Bond. Shout out to Judge Perry Bond. Yeah. She said that. Somebody said, so that is proof that he's Lucifer. Anyway, he lost that lawsuit and he can move on because I think he was probably banking on getting some money. And I'm pretty sure he needs the money. It's something else about David. Do you guys want to hear about why he wrote his song Romantic Homicide? I don't want to play it, but I did save it. I think it was saying that it was something in the back of his mind that he was expressing. Yeah, which should tell also that it was premeditated. Okay, because if it was in your mind at some point, it was in your mind from before you did it. Okay, you already thought about it, you wrote a song about it, you sang about it, you performed, and you tap danced to it, and you did it, and then you released your album and told everybody everything. So anyway, there was another story I want to share about another idiot. Oh, here's another story. Jada Pinkett Smith demands Will Smith's ex-friend to fork over $49K to cover her legal fees after he claimed she caused emotional distress that led to his weight gain. Okay. Now, remember Will's old best friend who came out, Bilal Salam, and said that, Will was guilty of all this homosexual activity and whatnot. And he basically said Jada was also a menace. Well, it says, according to documents obtained by TMZ, she claims she's owed roughly $49,000 for attorney fees after successfully getting some of his emotional distress claims thrown out. As reported, Salam originally filed a $3 million lawsuit accusing Jada of causing him emotional distress, alleging he faced threats from her and associates after he began working on a tell-all memoir and declined to assist with damage control following Will Smith's 2022 Oscar slap incident. According to Salam, the alleged distress caused him to gain weight. So he's saying he was not this big before. Okay. Now, Jada has denied all the allegations, arguing that Salam failed to provide evidence to back up his claims, including assertions about personal losses and distress. She also maintains his accusations were made to generate attention as part of an ongoing campaign against her and her family. The case is still ongoing. I find that he's writing a book. He's probably just trying to drum up some pre-promotion, child. Yeah. Jada been in the news a lot lately, hasn't she, huh? Fighting for her life, child. Remember Smokey Robinson that came up on some charges too? Well, the judge seemed to have tossed out several of Smokey Robinson's claims in his $500 million countersuit against former housekeepers, accusing him of assault. Okay, so they sued him for assault and he sued them back for $500 million that he know they ain't got. But according to TMZ, the dismissed portions include key defamation allegations brought by Robinson and his wife against the 4 former housekeepers who accused him of sexual battery and other misconduct during the time of employment. The court determined the accusations were a matter of public interest due to widespread media coverage and online attention. The judge also found Robinson failed to prove the women acted with actual malice when speaking publicly about their claims, which led to parts of the countersuit being dismissed. Still, the ruling wasn't a total loss. Some claims remain, including allegations tied to employees allegedly stealing personal property and deleting information from Robinson's phones. Attorneys on both sides are allegedly reacting to the decision, already reacting. The accuser's lawyers calls it a powerful and unequivocal victory on their part and allows That allows their case to move forward, while Robinson's attorney pushed back and said, obviously, we believe the court's ruling is incorrect, and insisting that there is plenty of evidence of actual malice. He added their focus remains on proving the allegations are untrue and fabricated. His mugshot is something. Somebody said, is this a mugshot? He got on eyeliner too, child, and we know he dyed that hair. Now, I think what's going on in that house is probably the fact that he and his wife are elderly and trying to act like they're not, okay, because they are elderly, and they're probably not as together here like as they think they are. And those maids are looking, they probably are rude as hell to those maids and saying stuff and doing stuff, but at the same time, the maids also recognize they ain't all, something slipping here, and maybe we can get over, we can maybe not be so scared of them to file a suit and try to get some money out of this. Maybe it was something they would never have done back when Smokey was smoking. Okay. But now Smokey is just little puffs of smoke and not the dragon of smoke that he used to be. Is all I'm saying. He's just a different man. He's an older man. And I'm not saying none of that stuff ever happened, what they're saying. I don't know. He probably did do it. I don't know. But all I'm saying is they coming for him. 4 of them together. Sounds like a story I read about Kylie Jenner. She had a former housekeeper come out recently with claims of racial discrimination and all these other things. But from what I gathered after reading the article about it, it wasn't Kylie Jenner as the media wants it to look like. It's the people who were in charge, the supervisors and the other staff members who were harassing this girl. And that probably happens. They probably want her out so they can bring in a family member or a friend in her place, or maybe they just don't like her. She's not falling in line or whatever. But yeah, this Hollywood housekeeper stuff, is drama for your mama. Okay. It's a lot that goes on that we will never know, but a lot of it has come to light in the past. I mean, this is not a new story. So, just coming to say that this thing is still happening in court. And he was able to get some things dropped, but they're still able to move forward. So they're celebrating that. I thought this was an amazing story. A California father gives his son 40 acres of land for his 13th birthday instead of buying him a luxury present. He said, we can grow a legacy. We can create generational wealth. More parents need to do this. So yeah, 40 acres of land in Boulevard, California on the U.S.-Mexico border for his birthday. The land was a part of 198 acres Muhammad bought in 2021. Now, I'm questioning if this is safe. On the border of Mexico, it looks beautiful. Look at that. That is an amazing thing to gift your 13-year-old son. So, yeah, he just basically talks about how Muhammad is a former head of security for Michael Jackson, okay, and a co-founder of real estate development company Oasis Investment Group. He says he wanted to instill the principles of sustainability into his son while showing the importance of land ownership. After slavery, we're supposed to get 40 acres and a mule, he said, and we're not crying about the fact that somebody didn't give us what they promised. If this is something we can desire to have, we can go make it happen, okay? So he said his son already has big plans for the land, including ATV camps, resorts, family homes, and Airbnbs. More parents need to do this. ATV camps. That sounds fun. You know what? I hope, more power to him, and I hope it all works out. I really do. I have so much I wanted to talk about, but not a lot of time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick something. Brian McKnight is suing his ex-wife and son, saying they spread false claims about how he treated his late son, Nico, before his death. And see, Brian McKnight, I believe he has lost a lot of his bookings and things because of the drama between him and his ex-wife and his kids. And then when his son died, he seemed like I don't even know how to word how he seemed. He just seemed like he was kind of out of pocket. Brian McKnight, they say, has taken legal action against his ex-wife and one of his sons, accusing them of helping spread damaging claims tied to the death of his late son, Nico McKnight. And this is according to TMZ. The R&B singer says he has been targeted by a coordinated smear campaign designed to profit from what he calls malicious character assassination. He claims he became a sort of a subject of a shockingly dishonest and sensational but false narrative, accusing him of abandoning his children and refusing to tell Nico he loved him before his passing. In the filing, he alleges that the narrative was fueled by his ex-wife, Julie McKnight, and his son, Brian Jr. He also named several bloggers, along with the New York Post, claiming that they helped amplify the accusations. He says the relentless and persistent assault upon his character has harmed his family, his reputation, and his career, and he's now seeking damages. And somebody said, and we still not coming to your concerts. So, yeah, he did do his family wrong. I mean, I followed that whole thing, and he was dead ass wrong for how he did his children, even though they were grown at the time of that I saw the back and forth. It still wasn't right. It still wasn't right. Okay. I was going to do some things about this Michael Jackson movie and all that, but that seems like that's a whole separate thing. I might just go live separately on that maybe this weekend, because I plan on going to see that movie, Michael Jackson. I don't know if you guys are interested or not, but you know, I'm definitely going to do that. So, oh yeah, there was this one story that I wanted to talk about before I leave. Where is it? What is this ringing out here? It sounds like a school bell. Where is that dang story? Mary J. Blige. That's actually a good one too. Well, oh, here it is. I was about to say I can't find it, but here it is. Tory Lanez. So Tory Lanez has filed a $100 million lawsuit against California prison system. Okay. He claims he was, jabbed 16 times by a violent inmate. You see, they say he claims, because honestly, I don't know if I don't even think he was really hurt. But he basically says that he wasn't protected. Okay. He was jabbed 16 times by another inmate in May of 2025 while serving his sentence. The attack reportedly left him with serious injuries, including a collapsed lung, and required him to be airlifted to a hospital for emergency treatment. In the lawsuit, he claims that the prison officials failed to protect him, arguing that the inmate who allegedly carried out the attack had a known violent history and should not have been housed near him. He also alleges that the staff responded too slowly and did not take stronger action to stop the assault once it began. He further claims that his celebrity status made him a heightened target within the facility and required additional safety measures that were not provided. The suit accuses prison officials of negligence, stating that they knew or should have known the potential danger that he faced. In addition to the physical attack, Lanez alleges the prison staff confiscated personal property, including songbooks containing unreleased lyrics, which he says have not been returned. The lawsuit comes as Lanez continues serving a 10-year sentence connected to the 2020 shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. While he has since been transferred to another facility, officials within the California Department of Corrections have declined to comment on the claims due to ongoing litigation. Somebody said, I thought he was street. Ain't this snitching? We are so unserious as a people. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, that might have been more appropriate for that. But yeah, so good luck, Tory Lanez. I see you failing just as Diddy did in his attempt to sue for $100 million also. And, you guys who know me know that I also covered that trial. I was there in person for every day of that trial. And he is guilty as charged according to the evidence presented and the jury. Okay. So, yeah, he is done. I think I'm going to end this here because there's too much else stuff to cover that I want to cover. But you guys, that I love positive stories and things that are, of a more, I would say, raise the vibration. So let's talk about Patricia Williams. She's a Black entrepreneur who owns every McDonald's franchise in Compton and built a $50 million empire with her daughters. Shout out to her. Yeah. That's amazing. She didn't just open a McDonald's franchises. They own every single one in Compton, 13 locations, hundreds of employees, a $50 million empire built on vision, work, and refusing to settle. From one restaurant to a thriving family business, they're proof that Black women entrepreneurs don't just succeed. We build generational wealth, okay? This is the visibility Black businesses deserve. Boom. And that's amazing. Shout out to them. And let's talk about Miriam Hergott, the 21-year-old Black woman who opened a homeless shelter in Los Angeles and has already served over 10,000 meals. Okay. She opened what she calls the PAC Project, P-A-C-K. They didn't say what it stands for. Project, a homeless shelter in South Central Los Angeles, providing food, housing, support, and mentorship to people experiencing homelessness. She also created a monthly Feed the Homies program on Skid Row that has already served over 10,000 meals. Her words, be the change you want to see. That's the one that I love to use as well. And this is what Black excellence looks like. Yeah. Somebody commented, as a white, straight, middle-aged man, I know Black women are going to lead this country soon, and I'm here for it. Yes. We love it. So, yeah, I think we'll end on that note. I appreciate y'all. Beautiful to see. Exactly. Let me come to the comments before I go. I always get mad at myself for not doing that. He should have opted to go into PC. You're talking about Tory Lanez. Yeah, he should have. Damn, not you thinking he wasn't hurt. Not you thinking he wasn't hurt. I think it was like, dude, just, it looked like some toothpick stabbings. It was like beep, 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 beep. And he might have put something over his skin first. I'm telling you, I don't believe it. You said you believe everything they said about Brian. I believe exactly. You're watching it this weekend. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Diddy Lost. I'm looking forward to seeing that Michael Jackson movie. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys think as well. Yeah, Diddy is a big fat loser. I can't wait to see what comes back from this that hearing, the what was it called? The appeal hearing he had, right? Is he coming home? Is he coming home early or not? I don't know, but I think not. But we'll see. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Let's see. Solo Diva. Hey, babes. I'm so glad you were able to catch me, even though I'm headed out. But hopefully you will rewind into the replay. Comment as well. Let me know you stopped by. I appreciate you guys so much. But yeah, so much to talk about. So look for me this weekend. Yeah. All right, y'all. Listen, give yourself a round of applause. Doing this life thing the right way, okay? We're breathing. We're being grateful. Yes. Oh, the big thing I wanted to talk about, I did not talk about. I got to come back because I wanted to talk about those 12 scientists. I talked about it earlier and never talked about it. Okay, we got to talk about those 12 scientists. That's alive within itself. Hell, I might have to come every day until I cover everything. But yeah, the 12 scientists missing and or dead, having to do with UFO studies or materials studying or anti-gravity studying, things that they don't want exposed to the public. These people are gone. Okay, so we want to talk about that. We want to talk about a lot of different things right over here. But yeah, as far as David goes, David is a goner. All right, David is gone. And but yeah, looking forward to everything else that's going on. You know, looking forward to what's going on later on today, child. Life is a big old blessing and a big old miracle. And I pray to see blessings and miracles all day, all weekend, all week, all my life. Appreciate y'all. Till next time. Peace and love, love and peace. Bye.